Let's go. Let's go. Today I decided to choose a few relationship advice underscore or slash relationship advice from Reddit to see if I could solve people's problems. Let's go. Now, um, I guess where I'm coming from is I'm 24. I'm engaged for almost 2 years, and I think that I can give pretty good relationship advice. Or at least I hope so. At least I think I have a deep understanding of what's happening in the male-female relationships. I don't have a degree. I'm not religious, and I'm not also super conservative. I think I'm gonna come from a point of view of experience and also modern logic, I guess. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like another type of logic, but I guess as we go through this, you'll see what I mean. I'll just stop for it. I haven't read this yet. Chose um, I just chose problems that were like mainly from young people because old people problems. I will admit, bro, I ain't got no clue, bro. Like I saw things like, yeah, married for 20 years, and I found out that my husband cheated on me 17 years ago. I'm like, bro, listen, I cannot help you with that one. But things with people who've been in relationships for like 8 months, a year, I think I can relate a little bit more and probably give like more relevant advice. Well, let's see. All right, my girlfriend, 24, is making me, 26, miserable with constant demands of marriage. How do I move forwards? All right, let's go. Let's she look at tough one. Okay, let's go. I've been with my girlfriend for 2 years and a half. She's amazing in so many ways and really loves me. I love her too, but she has been driving me insane. Driving me insane, yeah, with her obsession with marriage. For the past year, it's been a constant cycle of her aggressively demanding that I marry her. We can't just live our lives without her looping it back into the topic of conversation. I'm talking frequent tears, yelling, asking why she isn't good enough, etc. I've told her I'm not ready to be married and need to feel like I can breathe in the relationship, but she won't let it rest. We'll go a few days without talking about it, but in that time, I know something is a build up. There's always dramatic outbursts on the horizon. Okay. I feel like I could get to the point wanting to marry her if she'd stop doing this. And I do get close, but then it happens all again. And I question if I want to do this for the rest of my life. I understand her need for commitment, and I'm trying to get there. But her behavior around the topic is making this too hard to do. If I do marry her, how do I know she won't act this way about something else? I'm not sure if I'm being unreasonable. Fair enough. Okay. I think this is like a pretty normal common problem to have in a relationship when it comes to commitment. I think people like to have it clarified, and other people can be confused sometimes on exactly what they want. So I'm guessing this guy right here is a little bit confused on what he wants. The questions I would have for him is, what do you mean by you need to breathe in the relationship? Do you mean that you need to have 2 days by yourself where you don't see your girlfriend? Do you mean that you would like to live in separate homes? Do you mean that you yeah, I mean that's the only two questions I have in mind right now. Is it about the amount of time you spend with her? Uh and if that's the case, obviously that's the case, like how much time or how much space do you need? Because it's like, do you not want to live with her? Obviously, then marriage would be a bit complicated. But if it's just about like time by yourself, this doesn't, vanish as soon as you get married. Like you can still have time by yourself even though you're married. Um, so maybe I would need some clarification about what breathing means. We'll go a few days without talking about it, but in the time something build up, there's always a dramatic outburst in the horizon. What I don't really, even myself today, I don't really get that. Like, if you, like, marriage doesn't really have the same utility as it did before. I think some people may have some emotional attachment to it, but at the same time, it's no longer as big of a commitment as it used to be. Like people used to get married before they move in with each other. Moving in with someone else was always a bigger commitment than getting married, at least for most of time. Um, and because people would just like get married in like 2 months, bro. This is no longer the case, and so, and they would do that because I guess the value of it was so great that you needed to do it as fast as possible. Like I feel like that's the logic, but maybe not. But today is really different, and maybe instead of maybe you can change the goalpost and show her that you are committed to her, not through marriage but through other things that you know take sacrifice and take time in order to do. And maybe she can also calm down, and because maybe it's a trust problem, like people want you to commit to them, like so that they know that you're theirs. But I think there's other ways to prove that apart from marriage. Like, for example, the amount of time you're going to spend with her, the amount of things you're going to sacrifice. Like, where do you live? What kind of work do you do? Like, did you sacrifice work hours to spend time with her? If not that, did you change a little bit of the way you were acting before you met her, so that you could accommodate her a little bit more? I'm not saying don't sacrifice your entire life, but like maybe just do a few things weekly that you didn't used to do before, and that obviously you're going to do now because somebody else has introduced themselves into your life. And when that happens, usually if you want this to go in a harmony, you need to change these things. I don't know if our protagonist here, throw RRRA 7813, did that, but if you did do that, and you can point at this, don't come to her as like a superiority type thing, like I did these things for you. Don't do that. But that's it. But you can just point it out and be like, this is how I prove to you that I'm committed to you in that certain way. Because, and if that's not the case, and if you don't think that you're that committed to her, also be honest about that. Like, I'm not sure if you're the woman of my life. And yeah, sometimes like it will piss people off, and it will make her extremely mad. But like, if this is the truth, like it's also a good thing that you can communicate that and be like, yep, you're not the woman of my life, or I don't know yet if you're the woman of my life. And you also give reasons for that. And so that would be, I think, the best way to go about that, at least to make her stop. I think in both cases, if you say anything, she may like do it less or completely stop. If you're like, yeah, you're not the woman of my life, that's why I don't want to marry you. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think you would write that if you knew for sure. Like, maybe you're having doubts, but like you'll probably want to. Also, about the woman of your life thing, you're never gonna know that. Like, this is what I think is, you're only gonna do that when you're gonna die and you're married to her. That's when she's the woman of life, because you married her, you got married, and then you died, and then she was still your wife. So that's, I think, something we need to accept, that we need to live our lives. It's a little bit like religion. It's a little bit weird, but but I think it's more real because the person is literally in front of you at that point. But yeah, you need to kind of just like blindly trust their devotion to you. And my advice to people is, hey, like, if you're scared of like being betrayed or feeling bad about it, just know that you were yourself honest as possible in the relationship, and that like the person in front of you, if they lie or if they deceive you, it's just them. Like, they're tapped, they're crazy, and you are the one who was honest. And so it still hurts, but everything hurts, bro. Like, being by yourself hurts. Being with someone you don't actually really like, but that they're gonna stay with you, that also hurts. So I don't know, if you're gonna want to stay with someone, and you like, when they do things and you have trust issues, and you're not sure if like this is them wanting to be with you for the rest of their lives, just ask them. And if they say yes, then it's yes. And if they lie, then it's their problem at this point. We have to start being. I'm saying this as someone that had a problem like this himself. We have to stop being comfortable with like people's answers about how they feel about us. If it's positive, just take it. If it's negative, take it too. It is what it is. I feel like I could get to the point of wanting to marry her. Like, also something I want to know is like, what's keeping you away from it? What's scary about marriage? Like, you may also have like personal things that make you scared about marriage. Share that with your girl. And I do get close, but then when it happens again, if I question if I want to do this for the rest of my life, for sure. And when you say things like this, you also, I feel like this is a lot of times people talk about their relationships like this. They say things and they never give examples. They never really give examples. Like, he's scared of this happening for the rest of his life, but like, does that mean that she does this with other things? Does she question you on other things after you've confirmed to her that you love her and that this is not the case? Is that what's happening? Like, you need to ask her. I mean, she needs to ask you these type of questions. You need to answer these type of questions. Like, is she like this? Does she keep on bugging you about certain things even though you don't want to talk about it? Does she do that in other areas? I don't know. Like, if it's just marriage, and there's a high chance that it's just a problem with marriage. and people are always annoyed about things. So I think that you're never gonna have someone that's completely happy with every single thing that you do and are. That's literally impossible. So you can't expect someone to just like everything that you are. That's also like not a thing. You need to give that up right now. You know, it's like there's gonna be things that your wife or husband is gonna do that are gonna be slightly annoying, and you'll be like, okay, well, I can take that amount of annoyance sometimes, and then I have to check them every single time they're too annoying, and yeah, it's balanced. This you can't just expect someone to just be happy with everything you do. That's weird. Actually, that's weird. Isn't that weird? Oh yeah, everything you do is great. Really? I don't know. Like, why? Why would that be the case? Like, why would literally like most people just dislike that one thing about you? Even your friends. Like, when your friends do that, that's fine. Like, I don't like everything about my friends. I don't have to. Like, it's the same thing in relationships. You just have to state it more. Because as you're breaking news, I don't really see my friends every day, and I don't sleep in the same bed as them and stuff. So obviously, there's less things that they gotta worry about. Like, there's a lot of habits that my friends don't have to give a fuck about, but that you're, significant of a whale, and it's okay to have flaws, bro. Like, yeah, it's completely fine to do things that are like, a little bit just outside of like what your boyfriend or girlfriend would want to do for themselves, and you can just accept that. I think there's a lot of things that people are uncomfortable with that are just like completely fine. I don't have any examples on the top of my head, but I'm sure a lot of people do like things that they find unreasonable for their partners to be uncomfortable with, and a lot of people think marriage is one of them. They're like, oh, how can you not be married? How can you not want to marry me? We've been together for like um you know 2 years and a half, so why is that happening to me? But you have to realize that like people are uncomfortable about things for a multitude of reasons. Like, usually people who don't want to get married is because they have parents who have a shady marriage or no marriage at all, and so marriage scares them because it's something that hurts. It's not really something that creates something beautiful. So yeah, that would be my advice. I think you need to clarify your position, my friend. And I think that you're in a pretty common place for people our age, I guess, and then our time for sure. You can come on my stream if you want to have some straight up advice. I'm completely available. I'll see if I can post this like on under the comments or something to see what people react and if they like the content. And if you can actually hear me on the microphone, yeah, this is the first video, so I appreciate everybody that's watching. And please don't ban me. This is definitely a trial. I just joined. I'm joking. I'm talking to the Reddit community when I'm like, please don't ban me, because I don't know how they're gonna react. So, yeah, let's go. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.